High school girls lacrosse continues here from Noblesville High School in the Beaver Materials Field. It's game 2 of 2 tonight. This time around, we'll have the Carmel Greyhounds, the defending state champions in Class 2A, taking on the Bishop Chatard Trojans. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Reynolds Farm Equipment. Reynolds, your local hometown John Deere dealer, open since 1955 with 5 locations in central Indiana. Boilermaker Local 374, a union representing skilled workers in Indiana. Boilermaker Advantage. Bertner Electric, spark with confidence, your trusted electrician partner since 1986. Wheel Your Mission, helping our neighbors in need since 1893. We've been here to help, thanks to caring individuals. Aspen Creek Grill, a large selection of food made from scratch and fairly priced, with 2 great locations in Noblesville and Greenwood. The Morales Group, our mission is building better futures one story at a time. LifeWise Academy, their mission is to positively impact students, schools, and communities. Contact them at lifewise.org. Officially Human, to restore respect to game officials and recognize them as authorities on the fields and on the court. Ref Reps, at Ref Reps, our mission is to help the world see the game through the eyes of the officials. And by IndianaSRN Sports Page. It's sports from border to border and coast to coast. We've played one, and now it's time for our second game. Hi, everybody. Jarrett Lewis here, alongside with Coach Laura Rogers, and we saw a good 1A game to start things off from the St. Joseph Huskies, able to knock off the Castle Knights 14-8 to advance to the state championship matchup. Now it's time for Class 2A, and we'll get to see some fast action between Carmel and Chatard. Let's start with the defending champs, the Carmel Greyhounds. Head coach Josh Miller, they're 17-3 this season. They're off of wins against Penn and Brebeuf in sectional play, 16-4 that game against Penn, and then Brebeuf, they followed up with a 15-5 victory. This team, they know how to score, and they're also limiting how many goals their opponents score.
Yeah, the Carmel Greyhounds, a strong senior-led team, have been in this position before, as you said, defending state champs, and were in the title game the year before. High-powered offense, challenged themselves by playing some out-of-state teams this year to kind of expand their repertoire. So we expect Carmel to come out fast, nose for that goal.
And you mentioned those teams they played out of state. I believe their only 3 losses are all from teams out of state. They play a really good squad out of Ohio, the best team in the Louisville area of Kentucky. So we'll see some high scores. We'll also see some Division I players on that Carmel Greyhound squad, but also some all-state players on the other side for Chatard. We'll check out some of those players to watch out for after we hear the starting lineups first for Chatard. Let's go to the PA announcer.
Number 4, Clara Nagel. Number 5, Charlotte Touchon. Number 6, Kate Roberson. Number 7, Maggie Pyatt. Number 8, Cameron Hart. Number 9, Nev Bielefeld. Number 21, Greta Borowski. Number 23, Annie McAllister. Number 27, Marissa Zentes. And in goal, number 98, Maggie Ellis. Coach Gerald assisted by Bailey O'Brien, Lindsey Traub, Kelly Lewis, Riley Miner, Beth Pyatt, Corey Garland, and Christina Soderquist. And now a warm welcome for the home team in our opening varsity 2A semi-state Final Four game. The number 1 seed and 2024 defending state champions, the Greyhounds from Carmel, and their head coach, Josh Miller. Starting for Coach Miller's Greyhounds tonight, number 3, Sophie Mock. Number 7, Brecken Hare. Number 8, Nora Rafferty. Number 9, Sophie Grosjean. Number 15, Kate Stradeski. Number 16, Ella Pasilio. Number 17, Megan Hauser. Number 18, Riley Putnam. Number 22, Ellie Tamalia. Number 23, Jackie Mabry. Number 26, Avery Gold. And in goal, number 44, Brooklyn Jenkins. Coach Miller assisted by Missy Stringham and Meredith Hall.
So there you have it, the starting lineups for Chatard and Carmel. These two teams did meet during the regular season. It was a 14-8 win for Carmel back in late April, so nearly a month ago from now. That was our final score, actually, of our first game was 14-8. So what can Chatard do to limit this high-powered offense of Carmel and knock off the defending state champs?
I know we sang the praises of Carmel earlier, but we'd be remiss not to mention the talents of this Bishop Chatard team. As a coach, we have a motto. It's called Play Chatard Early in the Season, because they are prepared, they are disciplined, and they just build and build and build as the season continues. And I think you saw that with their gritty double overtime win over a great Zionsville team a week ago. So Coach Gerald will have these girls ready to rock.
We'd be remiss, too, if we didn't mention Clara Nagel, who scored her 100th goal versus Zionsville about 2 weeks ago in one of those playoff games. That game, I believe, going into double overtime. It was a gritty win for Coach Julie Gerald and her squad, 14-13. They had previously lost to the Eagles in the regular season, 17-15, another high-scoring and close matchup. Chatard seems like, you look at their schedule, they've been in a lot of close and high-scoring games. Would you be in favor of trying to get in a shootout with Carmel, or are you wanting to keep that score around the 10-12 mark?
Oh, I think that'd be ideal. We always say you don't want to run a track meet. We're lacrosse players, not track athletes. So, again, manage the ball, manage the clock. If you can keep the ball out of that high-powered attack for Carmel, you'll be the better for it. But as you mentioned, yes, their losses, close losses, only to Guerin and Carmel, who we see here in our Final Four, along with HSC, and then a tight one-goal game with Cathedral. So this Chatard team is battle-tested. They'll be ready.
They've scored 14 goals or more in their last 4 games. Their season high, 19. They've done that twice. 8 seniors on this Chatard team. Carmel, another high-scoring team, as mentioned, but their defense is just as good. They've only given up 5 goals or less in 5 of their last 6 games. In goal for the Greyhounds, they will go with Maggie Ellis, the junior, wearing number 98. Check that, that's for Chatard. Maggie Ellis, she'll be towards our right in blue. For Carmel, in goal, the senior Brooklyn Jenkins. Carmel wearing all white. Chatard in all blue. Here we go. Game 2 of tonight here on IndianaSRN. It's Class 2A, the semi-state matchup. Ball's in the air. Picked up by the Greyhounds in white, and they will go from left to right.
If you like quality two-way midfielders, this is the game for you. The circle tonight is going to be crucial as these teams match up.
Looking through that offense, starting things off to her right, Ellie Tamalia, one of those seniors, one of those good goal scorers, and a quick goal scored. For Carmel, it's Sophie Mock, the senior, and one of those girls that's going to be playing at the next level. A good start for the Greyhounds. They score 27 seconds in.
Yeah, the future Butler Bulldog finds the future Cal Berkeley Golden Bear there on a nice little crease roll to assist there on the lower right side. So great start if you're a Greyhound. Chatard's going to regroup and head back to the circle.
We were talking about it in the pregame, how Carmel, obviously the defending state champs, and they return a lot of that firepower from last year, 11 seniors, and most of them in this starting lineup that have the Greyhounds looking for a repeat.
had the pleasure to coach many of these athletes on the field back when they were even U12 players, so it's great to see this all come to fruition today.
Chatard looking to answer their first offensive possession. The pass from Marissa Stentz is deflected and will stay with the, actually no we won't. The holding call goes against, no it does go against Carmel, so it's going to be a free possession for Chatard.
On the field tonight, Clea Andres, Aaron Abbott, and Ryan King in the stripes, with April Sherman serving as our table official this evening.
A completely new 4-man and women's squad of officials. For Chatard, Neve Bielefeld is working things around. Picked up by Katie Figura on the far side.
Great to see Nev back on the field. A senior leader, suffered a torn ACL in her junior season, so we love seeing her back out there for the blue.
Another whistle. Yellow card, an early one.
Yellow card called against Carmel for a check to the head.
So a little aggressive play, a check to the head, heading towards the sidelines. Riley Putnam, the senior.
Pyatt with free position.
And Pyatt has the free position for Chatard.
Uncharacteristic early card there for the Greyhounds, and you do not want the ball in Maggie's stick. If you are from Carmel, 51 goals and 26 assists this season, she'll lead the team.
Pyatt nowhere to go, so she'll dish things off to Bielefeld, and now a drive in, a good shot, and a goal scored for Chatard.
Great, disciplined, under control take there by the Trojans. Not too panicked after that first goal. Got the ball back. Nice little ball movement around the top. Again, looking for the best shot, not the first shot. And we're knotted at 1 with 10:20 left in the first.
Katie Figura will knot it up at 1.
More of that senior leadership for the Trojans. As we head back to the draw.
Check in on the two drawing it up. Looks like Bielefeld was in there, but it's Carmel who wins it, and off to the races goes Mock, who opened things up with the goal.
Bishop Chatard pushing out a little bit more than I would expect this early, coming out aggressive, trying to manage this Carmel attack.
Errant shot heading in there by Avery Goal.
Carmel's got some long-distance shooters on this team, so Chatard is not allowing them the time in the room to get those hands free. Great tactic here early by the blue.
Yeah, they're really extending out that defense, Chatard is. Brecken Hare being followed by Greta Borowski.
A very high-risk, high-reward style of defense here for the Trojans. Let's see if it pays off. Looks like they've got a nice pseudo backer packed in there in the 8, keeping that patrol in the critical scoring area while allowing a little bit of press out on the top.
Three minutes gone by in this first quarter. Greyhounds, after striking quickly to open things up, have stayed a lot more patient this time around, looking for those openings.
Yeah, Carmel's pretty used to having their way with the ball, so it's great to see a nice tight early matchup here.
Somalia has it knocked loose, and Chatard awarded the possession. The ball's still loose, so the Trojans will be able to pick things up, which they do. And Clara Nagel, who we talked about in the pregame.
Yes, called the Nagel name for many years. Her older sister also a standout for the Trojans. Another quick, odd turnover there.
On the far side, I think that was Tamalia back there.
Unfortunate play there. Great crash, initial crash by the Trojans, but the quick ball movement to the weak side resulted in a shooting space violation, and they're going to be back on the 8-meter.
Avery Goal with the goal. So went over the head of Tamalia and into goal, and then the penalty committed by Chatard gave them that free position for the score.
If I'm Chatard, I really got to focus on how to avoid these free position chances. Carmel is a talented shooting team, and we don't want to put them on the free throw line for all intents and purposes if we can avoid it. So let's see if they can make a couple little adjustments here with 1 minute to go in the first, not let Carmel through the door.
You know, a faster pace you feel like favors Carmel, but also they've had those possessions where they've been looking for the cutting players. They've been making good passes. A lot of Sophie Mock goals to start things off. We're under a minute. Carmel has another shot here.
Another draw control by Carmel. That's where this battle is going to be won and lost there between the 30s tonight.
Hare looking for an alleyway. We'll give it back to Tamalia. Deep shot. Deflected nicely by Ellis. And now it's Chatard. 15 seconds. Is that enough time to get close?
Nice shot fake there by Tamalia, trying to draw the shooting space free position. Not sure she meant to unleash it that second time, leading to a turnover. Ball back to the Trojans.
A whistle, but coming with about 3 seconds left, and there's the first quarter buzzer. Both teams will meet together towards their goalie. A good showing so far in goal by Brooklyn Jenkins of Carmel, only allowing 2. The offense of the Greyhounds led by Sophie Mock, who put 4 in of the 6. We'll head to the second. It's Carmel 6, Chatard 2. Class 2A semi-state girls lacrosse on IndianaSRN.
Hello and welcome to Game Day. My name is Keith Myers. I'm the Vice President of IndianaSRN. We're glad that you joined us today. If you'd like to see more content just like tonight, just hit the donate button. Every dollar that you donate will go right back into more games right here on IndianaSRN, which means more games for you. It's IndianaSRN, where you always have a front row seat.
Looking to elevate your brand? Choose Dynamark, your local one-stop shop for all your print, signs, promo products, apparel, and mailing services. Serving Indianapolis for over 50 years. Dynamark, where strong relationships are built through exceptional service.
We're not here to just sell you another piece of software. We're here to helping you procure the licensing, manage and monitor those licenses over time.
Collaboration is very key when working with our clients. We are very much a partnering organization. We definitely work as a team to deliver solutions for our customers.
We're here to build relationships with customers, which is unique.
Hi, I'm Grayson, and our parents work in road construction. Every day they head out to make our roads safer and better for you. But did you know work zone deaths have increased 63% since 2010?
Wow, that's a lot. Please slow down and pay attention when you see all those orange signs. When you do, you're helping to keep our parents and everyone who works on the roads safe. Thanks for looking out for us.
This message is brought to you by your friends at Highway Safety Services. Stay safe, stay alert.
The second quarter coming up here at Noblesville High School in our 2A semi-state game. Chatard trails Carmel 6-2. Jarrett Lewis here along with Laura Rogers, former coach of Zionsville. A lot of maybe some other area schools and coaches trying to check in on how this game is going between Chatard and Carmel. The winner of this will head to the state championship game and see the winner of Hamilton Southeastern and Guerin Catholic.
A lot of local coaches in the stands and on the stream lighting up the phone, excited to see this matchup tonight.
We'll start the second quarter with initially heading Carmel's direction, but Chatard got it back, and we got a little bump at the 30 and a yellow card, too, a hit to the head. It was Pyatt who took it from Ella Pacilio. So that'll send Pacilio over to the tent. Pyatt has it at the 25.
And 2 cards early for Carmel. Not what Coach Josh Miller is looking for. After the 4th card, you're a man down for the rest of the game. So Carmel needs to be careful here.
A lot more of a faster pace in this game, a little more aggression shown on the defensive end. Good split, but I think it hit off the post. Firing that thing in there.
Again, Chatard staying calm, keeping that nose for goal, working very methodically in the attacking end.
Trojans still have it. We had a 6-2 halftime score in our 1A semi-state game earlier today. Carmel putting up 6 first quarter goals. Errant pass, waiting on it at the 30. Trojans trying to hold on to it. Lily Braun with position. A fight for it up in the air. Figueroa picks it up.
That restraining line play is so tricky. You don't want to accidentally go off sides working on that ground ball.
Deep shot coming from Pyatt. Another chance at it. She lost it. Trojans trying to keep it, which they do.
Great ground pickup there by Nev Beafield.
Beafield sends it over to Nagel. This Carmel D standing strong. Figueroa caught it and then tried running in. Got a violation on the Greyhounds.
Clara Nagel, a bright young star for this Trojan team. We'll be calling her name for years to come.
Figueroa got it over to Pyatt.
Number 7, Maggie Pyatt with free position.
Great pump fake there by Maggie to draw this free position. Favorable hash. Let's see what she does.
Off the right post. Figueroa will track it down, so Trojans still got a couple of shots, a couple of whistles against Carmel too. Like to end this possession with a goal. The Carmel defense
Push ball.
really trying to play as aggressive as they can with not getting caught, but there's been a few whistles on them, and now another chance. This one bounces in, deflected by Jenkins and goal.
Both sides kind of struggling to stay clean here in the critical scoring area. A lot of free positions here to start this game.
Figueroa looking to score, not this time. Beafield will start her motor and get another hit by Mock. That's the second time I think Mock has been caught with either a high stick or some sort of high contact around the head.
Yeah, that horizontal stick creeping up there on Nev, so she'll have a free position there on the first inside hash. Great spot for a righty.
This will be, I believe, the 4th free position in the last minute and a half for Chatard.
Rebound back to the Trojans. Ball is bouncing their way if they can just get one in the back of the net. But nonetheless, they're keeping the ball out of the powerful stick of the Carmel attack.
An underhand scoop shot coming from Pyatt won't go. But we stay on this half of the field.
Gotta hand it to Chatard, staying patient, keeping their eyes on the goal, not being overly reckless, drawing some nice fouls. Another shot there.
The shot from Figueroa is up and away.
Little crowding there behind the goal. Maggie Piot taking a look.
Some instructions from the sideline and Coach Julie Jarrell Figueroa will work her way middle of the field. She sees a double team, able to get out of it. Initially, sends it back. That shot in from Hyatt is going to find its way through, and you can see the reaction from Jenkins on how did I let that one get by?
Initial strong double team there by the Greyhounds. Again, excellent patient by Chatard. I believe Katie Figueroa working her way, splitting that double, finding Piot for the little slip shot over the stick side of Brooklyn Jenkins.
What a long, drawn-out possession, and you're just kind of feel relieved that you come away with a score if you're the Trojans.
You know, if I'm Coach Julie Jarrell and the Trojans, I'm pleased with that. That possession showed a lot of grit, and more importantly, kept the ball on your end of the field.
.7:18, the clock stops for the moment. They're back at midfield. Avery Gale is in the middle. So too is, it appears, well, that was Gale for Carmel. For Chatard, didn't quite see, but it's a Carmel possession.
Yes, Gale headed to Florida Southern next year, a Division II powerhouse. So chilly games like this in the 60s will be a thing of the past for her next season as she heads south.
I don't think she'll be missing the Indiana weather during the spring, and she'll be in sunny Florida.
Another shot turned away by the Trojans. The blue back on attack as Piot carries into the critical scoring area.
Charlotte Touchon gets it up to Piot, who has a look. It's off the post, deflecting back into the stick of Bielefeld.
Hard angle there for Piot. Again, like that they're keeping a nose to the goal, getting these second, third, even fourth chance opportunities, just grinding away here against the Greyhounds.
Piot looking for somebody to cut. Back to Bielefeld. At the halfway mark of this second quarter now, a whistle. Something's up with the cage.
Official timeout on the field to...
Looks like maybe we've had too many pipe shots in our game and nearly a half tonight. That goal was off its moors a little bit, being reset by official Aaron Abbott, and ball remains with the Trojans.
Yeah, a lot of mustard behind some of these shots from Chatard. Jenkins trying to be big in the goal, and she is. She gets the save. Greyhounds off and running, near side. Across midfield is Tamalia.
Tamalia, the Butler commit, staying here in Indianapolis. Great two-way midfielder for the Greyhounds. Sets the ball into motion for none other than Sophie Mock, yet again from the top side.
Mock, 4 first quarter goals. Can Carmel add another? Yes, they can. The Carmel sideline and the fans here closest to us going crazy. So that one finds the back of the net.
Quick discussion here from table official April Sherman as well, coming onto the field to check something. I'm still not sure who put in that 7th goal.
Yeah,
bit of confusion.
From our vantage point, may have been Ellie Epsy.
Number 31, Ellie Espy.
And that is
there
correct.
You go.
Epsy did not start this game. She came in and trying to peer in, look for that number. And we found it, so it's a 7-3 ball game.
Shout out to stadium announcer Tim Button, whose eyesight is beating ours tonight there on the far side. But Trojans strike back with a great draw control, carrying it into the attacking zone with just under 5 minutes to play.
Under 5 to go in this one. Chatard trying to answer. It's been a trio involving Figueroa on the tack, Bielefeld, and Pyatt, who has it now, dishes it off to the smaller and speedy Figueroa, who just sees great defense all up in her grill, Sophie Grosjean.
Great look there by the Trojans. That triple team that forced the passer back on the top side, allowed that slip in from the bottom. Great patient look there by the Trojans.
Sense will drive. Whistle.
Another free position earned by Bishop Chatard, their 7th of the evening. Little uncharacteristic here by Carmel to put Chatard back on the 8-meter center hash.
So Zentis has the free position right at that blue circle where the yellow meets it. The save right into the net of Jenkins.
Chatard is getting shots tonight, up around 14 shots for this half. Only 3 goals. They gotta find a way to convert these great opportunities into the back of the net.
They'll get it across midfield to the Greyhounds. Gia Ferretti has it up to Breckenhare. Brecken inside, close enough, and a snipe shot right past the mitt of Ellis. So that extends the lead. It was once 6-3, now 8-3. A little bit of a run put on by Carmel.
Yeah, that topside dodge is Hare's signature move. She'll pull you slightly left and then cut hard to the right. If she gets just an inch of time and room on those hands, she can be fairly automatic on those shots.
Hare puts in her second. Mock has 4, so they make up 6 of the 8. Chatard looking for a stronger showing in this final 3:07. Keep things close with the defending 2A state champs. Bielefeld's in there for Chatard on the draw for Carmel. Avery Goal.
I've been in these shoes before. No lead is safe. I've seen the Trojans come back many a time. Seen both of these teams in my nightmares over the past 17 years of coaching. 2 well-coached programs. No quit on either side of the ball.
Yeah, you can almost guarantee you see 2 teams like this deep in a tournament run, vying for a state championship, and a nice little underhand hopper from Maggie Pyatt. Pyatt has her 3rd. Figueroa has 1. Carmel's done a decent job of keeping others in check, like Clara Nagel.
I know I'm a broken record at this point, but I gotta respect the patience of this Chatard team. Not letting it get too far, staying in their game, staying true to what they know, and just continuing to chip away, trying to keep Carmel in reach.
They just announced
shout out
after the first quarter score, the Pacers are up 43-35 on the Knicks. So you want to talk about high-scoring opening quarters? The Pacers on track for a little over 170. Is that right?
Perfect night for multiple screens.
Yep.
Right. Pacers on a screen, IndianaSRN girls lacrosse on the other. Have a night, Indianapolis.
High-scoring affairs all across the state.
Nice draw there by Bielefeld, carrying it into the Chatard attacking zone.
Bielefield's not stopping. Gets it into the black and gold turf. Lainey Anderson controls it along with Cameron Hart. Under 2 to go in this second quarter.
The Chatard team always comes together so nicely. They come together through many schools of the diocese, many different youth programs, and always coalesce into a great program here at Chatard.
That one was tried to be lobbed over Jenkins. She went up there and snagged it, but there was also a whistle. I think it's going against Carmel.
Yep, another free position for the Trojans. Their 8th of the evening.
Riley Putnam, the guilty party. So here is Figura. Will run on in there and throw it in behind Jenkins. That's another goal for Figura. That's number 2. And now all of a sudden it's 8-5. So Carmel scores 2. Chatard comes back with 2 of their own.
Looking at the Carmel sideline, I'm seeing a lot of great players who played defense in college, both in lacrosse with Meredith Duran Hall and basketball, Division I basketball with Coach Missy Stringham. So I know their defensive heart is aching right now with the number of free positions that Carmel has given up. Let's see if they make an adjustment here with 1 minute to go in the half.
Could be an interesting final 71 seconds.
Draws fairly even here tonight, with this one landing the way of a hustling Sophie Mock yet again.
A goal for either team could really affect how we go into the second half. A 3-goal difference right now with 50 seconds. Mock will drive in. It's over the cage and out of play.
Mock had a flag on the far side, could have elected for the free position, probably didn't see it and just continued her motion to goal, but backed up by her teammates, and they'll have the ball again.
Breckenhare swings it over to Mock.
As a coach, you rehearse these little topside dodges for this Carmel attack. Very similar topside strong right-handed dodge, working on pressing out on those hands. But what happened here was, once you get that little bit of room, sometimes that second layer of shooting space comes into play and ends up in a free position where it's just kind of bad luck. You were on the ball, but they got just enough space to goal to draw that free position.
So the Greyhounds do get a look on the free position this time, and a ball that ends up beyond the goalpost. Chatard is ready on defense. Greyhounds looking to move quickly, and they do a great pass right in front of the cage. And the shot on goal, it goes through.
Looks like Rafferty to Tamalia there on the doorstep. That one's going to sting a little with only 9.9 seconds left in that half. But good tight in play, good pass, and even better catch by Tamalia to finish that one on the crease.
A really crucial goal, depending on which side you're on for Carmel. You sneak one in at the 9.9 second mark, goal number 9. You don't like it if you're Chatard heading into half down 4 to the defending state champs.
Again, called that Tamalia name more than a few times over this last decade of lacrosse. Older sister Tori, now a defensive standout for the Yukon Huskies, playing in the Big East. You got to see her earlier. Congratulate her on a great year. Here as the Trojans look to capitalize.
Nagel has 1 second. She gets it off. Is it in? No! They say no, not in time. Nagel, it was close. The Chatard fans don't like it.
Even more, it looks like the referee has pulled out a yellow card for a dangerous follow-through and or dangerous shot on the back side. Yes, she's walking towards the table referee, holding up a yellow card. Not sure I saw what happened there. It went fairly quickly. The rule is the whole of the ball across the whole of the line. That bang-bang play, almost too close to tell. But between the disallowed goal and the card, Coach Gerald is going to have to take a deep breath and reset on that one.
Regardless, it was pretty impressive that Nagel even made it close, had an opportunity on the draw from midfield. She got it down there quickly. It was close, hard to tell, but eventually the referee signals that it is not a goal. So Carmel picks up a big one with about 10 seconds left in the half, and then Chatard nearly answers. They're going to go into the second down 9-5. The defending 2A state champs looking good right now, off to a fast start on top of Chatard. We'll take a break for halftime. We'll come back, give you some numbers, and a look ahead to what kind of games we'll have tomorrow also on the network for you. 2A semi-state girls lacrosse on IndianaSRN.
Aspen Creek Grill, we are a from-scratch concept with comfort fresh food. You can expect a world-class experience. We've got incredible specials, great service. Everything that we do here is made from scratch. We hand-cut all our steaks in-house. Bring your family, come have some great food.
They say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you could be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
It's coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
For Mount Vernon. Hurdle looking right, now over the middle, fires, and it's in there for a touchdown. What a throw. Boy, what a stick, huh? Side out, back to the middle, and guess what? You want a point on the other side, you go to Taylor Lewis.
Here's Freeman. Has an opening shot. Score!
Stafford around a screen. Skip pass. Mays with three. Mays drive. Floater up and in at the horn.
Hand off and nice hole over the near side. 40, 35, 30. Block to the outside. 20, 15, 10, 5, and touchdown. And that's a big one right there. And finally, somebody gets on the board.
To the game, we've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Bertner Electric Incorporated provides professional commercial electrical contractor services to Indianapolis and surrounding communities. Locally owned and operated for over 30 years, our knowledge and experience make us the perfect choice for all your commercial electrical contractor needs. Contact us today.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt.
Insulting referees.
Threatening officials.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes.
Violent language in the stands.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot. It's not a game.
You want a piece of equipment you can trust, one that's easy to use. No matter the size of the job, you want to create a feeling worthwhile, something you can use for every job. For over 60 years, Reynolds has been a community staple, ensuring our customers powerful implements, top quality care and service. You need something that's in it for the long haul. Visit Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown John Deere dealer, today at reynoldsfarmequipment.com.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Towards the end of halftime of Game 2 of Indiana SRN's coverage of semi-state girls lacrosse, it's Carmel leading Chatard 9-5 as the third quarter is about to get underway. Jarrett Lewis with you along with Laura Rogers. Our first game earlier tonight, we had the St. Joseph Huskies defeating Castle 14-8. So St. Joseph will now await the winner tomorrow night between Fishers and Brownsburg, and then the 1A state championship game decided right here on May 31st, Saturday. And also in our 2A bracket, the winner of this one will meet up with Hamilton Southeastern and Guerin Catholic. That game also being played tomorrow. We'll have that right here for you on Indiana SRN. Back to this one where Carmel started things off hot. We saw a goal about, feels like every other minute from Sophie Mock. She finished the first half with 4, and then Brecken Hare added 2, and then 3 other players also getting in on the mix. It's been 2 girls for Chatard. Maggie Pyatt has 3 goals. And then also for Chatard, Katie Figura added 2. So maybe someone else might have to step up for Chatard, get in on the mix, get some scoring going, and get back into this game where it feels like it's at striking distance again.
It does. I'm sure Chatard is wondering just what happened in that last second shot. So with the yellow card, Nagels on the sideline, they're in the sin bin, so they will play woman down for these first 2 minutes. So critical time here for both teams. A free draw here to the Greyhounds because the card occurred on the shot as time expired, so there'll be no draw to start our second half.
It will be a opening possession for Carmel.
Get a critical 2 minutes here if you are the Trojans. Try to keep within grasp here while playing woman down. Doing a nice job here, pressing out hard. Really making Carmel work to have an opportunity at this woman up goal.
Yeah, you'd feel real good about going into this second half. You want the clock stopped. The officials do. There's a whistle from the far sideline.
Can't quite tell. Looks like maybe they were checking for an offsides. But now we're seeing Nev Beafield come off the field. I did not see a card issued. So bit of confusion here on my end. Looks like perhaps too many players on the field for Chatard, as they can only have 10 total right now due to the card. So I think that's what the situation was. Too many men on the field. Ball returns to Carmel.
It's a good save by Ellis. Chatard had their 6 defenders plus the goalie. Carmel still unable to take advantage. But now the Trojans have to try and get it into their side of the field.
Just under a minute left on this card. Let's see if Chatard can manage the ball well here, woman down. So far, nice little clear, nice hard work by Maggie Piot on the sideline.
Kate Roberson will get it in deep, and now the Trojans still down a player. Will it matter? Well, that shot going just wide. Another clock stoppage.
Interesting little shot there by Chatard on the man down, but time is of the essence, and they're trying to strike when they can. 22 seconds here left on the card.
Nagel will remain on the sidelines for just a little while longer. Figura on the drive. Nice little reverse, and that one gets past. So Figura sees a double team, almost a triple team, and somehow snuck out of it. That's goal number 3 for her tonight. It's now 9-6.
Absolutely masterful re-attack there by Figura. Initial double team came from Carmel. Slight retrieve step, maintained composure. Carmel failed to tightly close that double. We'd like to see a nice tight V there to take away that double, but Figura saw some daylight and took advantage of it. Chatard within 3.
So all things considered, you start the second half with Nagel on the sideline. You're down a woman, and then Beafield gets sent towards the side. But a nice stop in goal by Ellis, and then Chatard on the feet and the stick of Figura, able to capitalize, all things considered.
If I'm Chatard, I'm pretty darn pleased with how that woman down situation was handled. And we're back to even 12 on 12 here now.
Nagel's back out there at midfield. Another quick clock stoppage. We've seen a couple of those to start this third.
Referee didn't like the lack of go behind there on Bishop Chatard. When a foul is called, you have to at least make an attempt to go 4 meters behind until the opponent self-starts, and then you can rejoin the action. So little touch up there on a technicality.
Tamalia controls it. Good cut. Oh, Mock had a point-blank shot and sent it wide.
Little wheel route on the top there by Carmel. Exercising some patience, looking for the open cutters.
Greyhounds, they've looked good when they're staying patient and allowing those cuts to develop. Here's an attack by Brecken Hare, and now sent it back in for a shot, slinging that one in there. Putnam. Nagel goes after it. It goes out of bounds, and the Trojans have it.
Great sideline management there by Chatard. By rule, when it's a shot, it's the closest as it goes out of bounds. So she was wise not to pick up the ball, block it off, and let it naturally roll out of bounds for a Trojan possession.
Charlotte Touchon gets a little mini fast break going and then retreats. Here comes the offense for Chatard. Nagel has not scored. Not sure if she has a shot on goal either. Maybe one attempt, but it's been mostly Beafield here along with Maggie Piot that have done most of the damage, and then also Katie Figura.
I'm not sure Carmel's gone 4 minutes in the second half before without a goal. So some staunch defense by the Trojans, and a third card for the Greyhounds. Looks like number 15, Katie Strydeski. That's their third card of the game here with 7:55 left in the third. From the fourth card beyond, Carmel will have to play a woman down, so they're going to have to be really careful with their defense going through the rest of this game.
Yeah, it's been aggression that has given Chatard some opportunities here. The aggression of Carmel allowing Nagel to get a shot on goal, but that one goes wide.
Low angle there on the free position from the hanging hash, and the runoff goes to the Greyhounds, who get the ball back to Brooklyn to restart their attack.
Long pass. Here is Tamalia. This third quarter, the start to it, not what we saw to begin the game. We had goals galore.
Great hustle play there by number 3, Lily Braun, for the Trojans to take away the ball on the far side.
Touchon will send it up to Hyatt. Hyatt getting hounded towards midfield. Little stop on a dime. Beafield, a shot, and it's saved. Saved by the Carmel goalie, and now here come the Greyhounds.
Jenkins saw that one high to high all the way into her stick. Quick little turnaround here for the Greyhounds. Breckenhare looking for that shooting space, pumps but doesn't get it, and Carmel is content to reset their attack from the top.
Closing in on the halfway mark of this third quarter.
Again, very uncharacteristic for Carmel not to score in over 6 minutes here on the third. We'll see if they can get on the board here. So far, the second half has been 1-0 Chatard. A lot of back and forth.
And an empty possession here, bad pass. So the Greyhounds just burn a little bit of that clock, but not too much.
Yeah, you want to watch for those flat passes, especially in the end zone. As a coach, you want to say no harsh north-south nor harsh east-west passes, because if one gets a little high, that ball gets legs and can get out of bounds in a hurry. So uncharacteristic mistake by the Greyhounds. Ball back to the Royal Blue of Chatard.
Good passing by the Trojans to get beyond the initial line of defense, and now off and running. Far side, back end of the cage. Beafield looking towards the top. Looking for someone to cut, someone to get open. Now Nagel. Little meshing action between those two. The pass to Nagel. The goal by Nagel, her first. A good sign by Chatard. Looks like a well put together offensive possession, and don't look now, but we're back to within striking distance.
Again, another patient set from the Trojans. Working that strong right-hand side, tiny little wheel route set of picks there from the elbow. Allows Nagel to get free on the doorstep for a nice clean finish past Brooklyn Jenkins. And we've got a 2-goal ball game.
Avery Gale is at midfield for Carmel. For Chatard on the draw. Beafield is there.
Gale's one of those players that you may not see blowing up the stat sheet from an attack perspective, but her draw work is amongst the best, if not the best, in the state. So really does a lot of heavy lifting there in the midfield for Carmel, but ball bounces back to the Trojans, who set up top side on their attack.
Carmel led by as much as 4. It's down to a 2-goal game with the Trojans threatening again. Hyatt to the cutting Figura, and that score is in. The shot by Figura. It's a 1-goal game.
Again, the team play by the ladies from Broad Ripple here is quite impressive. Same play that they scored off of last time. Patience, assists, working together taking what Carmel is giving them and finding that tiny but necessary hole on the backside for another clean finish.
So 3 unanswered by Chatard. Nothing to show for in this third for Carmel.
Yeah, if I'm Coach Miller here, I'm flirting with a timeout. This is very uncharacteristic from the Greyhounds to, one, not score, but also to get scored on in the same play a couple times in a row. So I'm looking at my assistant coaches. We're going to talk this over here pretty quick. Another draw control by the Trojans.
Just once in the last 6 games have Carmel given up more than 5 goals. They've given up 8 to Chatard through nearly 3 quarters of play.
And as I mentioned earlier, spring sports are tough. As a coach and an athlete, both of these schools are done. They've taken their finals, they've graduated, so it's kind of hard to keep your head in it when summer is near, summer is here. Another shot by Maggie Piott, but turned away by Brooklyn, and Carmel on the move. Some substitutions on the sideline. Chatard running in some fresh defenders.
Bad pass picked up by Piott. One person to beat, plus the goalie, and that one heads out with Carmel being closest to it. Boy, a chance that I think this stadium would have erupted if that one goes in. This Chatard side is ready to tie this ball game up.
Great hustle play there by the Trojans. Those one-on-nones as a shooter can be challenging because it's just you and the goalie, and sometimes we have a tendency to see the goalie and not the net around them. So again, quality look by Maggie Piott. She's clearly trying to put this team on her back. Great ride, great shot. Whistle on the far end. Clock stopped by our officials.
Tamalia has possession for Carmel.
Looks like offsides against Chatard. On number 4, they've reset Clara Nagel back into the 7-on-7 set.
Behind the cage, Tamalia looking for someone to get open. Or maybe an avenue to get a shot off. Good cut by Mock. That's when she's at her best. Out in space. Enough room to get a shot off, and that one was clean for Sophie Mock. Number 5 for her.
Again, Carmel finally getting on the board here in the second half after almost over 10 minutes of play. Again, quite uncharacteristic for the Greyhounds, but they do respond and put themselves back up by 2 with 2 minutes to play here in the third.
Mock hadn't scored since the first quarter. She had all 4 of her goals then. She picks up number 5 at the 154 mark. Back to a 2-goal advantage. And another face-off over the Golden Noblesville Inn in the middle of our field.
I haven't seen all of Carmel's season, but I gotta predict that's probably one of their larger scoring droughts of the year with this normally quick attack offense. But violation there on the draw. Ball in Carmel's stick with under 2 to play here in the third. Some tight defense by the Trojans on the far side.
Can sense the kind of the pace picking up a little bit, a little more fan engagement too as this game gets closer and closer. A shot there, no good. Mock picks it up.
Great save there by Chatard to keep them continually in this game. Only 4 shots for Carmel in this half. Minute to play. A little trickery here up top. Ball in the stick of Hare. You know she wants to go to goal. Let's see if Chatard can hold.
Hare gives off to Mock.
Final minute.
Mock working to her left, now back right. Pass over the middle, dangerous, but it finds the stick of Tamalia. And a quick catch and shoot. 2 quick goals after Chatard cut it to 1.
Ellie Tamalia, crafty little backdoor cut there on the strong side, right-handed. So a bit more patience there by Carmel to put it in the back of the net, to put them up by 3 with a minute to go here in the third. If I'm Chatard, I need this possession. Love to get one more goal here in the third, but at the very least, keep the ball out of Carmel's stick for these last 50 seconds here in the third.
The Greyhounds, after Chatard goes on a run with 3 straight goals. Now the Greyhounds rattle off 2, and they remind you yet again why they are who they are, why they made it all the way to a state championship last year and trying to make it back-to-back. An important final 50 seconds in this third quarter. Every goal is crucial. Can Carmel add on one more? It's Tamalia again.
Chatard JV fans on their feet cheering on these Trojans, but the ball in the capable hands of Ellie Tamalia yet again. Tamalia draws the free position, a little too much contact on the crease roll. She'll have the first inside hash here, strong side right. We'll look for her to shoot.
Tamalia scored at around the 52nd mark. Can she tack on another shot? Good save by Ellis in goal.
Square in the numbers. She might feel that tomorrow, but worthwhile save there for the Trojans. We're going to push as best they can here with 13 seconds left.
The speed of Figura. Over to Pyatt. 5 seconds. Pyatt, turn around, throws it in. A good save by Carmel to end the third quarter. So the Trojans make things interesting. They cut it to 1, and then Carmel comes back with a few goals of their own. We'll head to the fourth and final quarter. The Greyhounds lead things 11-8. A trip to the state championship game on Saturday hangs in the balance. This is 2A semi-state girls lacrosse on IndianaSRN.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Hey, thanks for joining us tonight. We consider it a privilege to have you as one of our listeners and viewers. If you'd like to see more content just like tonight, just hit the donate button. Every dollar that you donate will go right back into more games right here on IndianaSRN. This means more games for you. It's IndianaSRN, where you always have a front row seat.
Looking to elevate your brand? Choose Dynamark, your local one-stop shop for all your print, signs, promo products, apparel, and mailing services. Serving Indianapolis for over 50 years. Dynamark, where strong relationships are built through exceptional service.
Just 12 minutes left to decide this one. Carmel trying to return to the state championship for the second year in a row and go back-to-back, winning a state championship in 2A. The Chatard Trojans stand in their way. They're keeping things close, 11-8 as we enter this fourth and final quarter. Well, you thought for a second starting off that that second half that if Carmel goes on a run like we know they can, things could get really out of reach for Chatard, but they fought back. They got goals from Katie Figura. Also, Clara Nagel got into the mix finally. You'll want to see those two stay active, get more shots on goal, and try to get this thing back to a one-goal game.
Yeah, Carmel attack trending in a direction we're not normally seeing from them. 6 goals in the first quarter, 3 in the second, and then only 2 in the third. So Coach Miller and these Greyhounds will be looking to get back to their more normal ways on attack, but Chatard not going down quietly, giving them all they've got. We've got a great one going here with 12 minutes to play for a trip to the 2A state title game.
Yeah, Coach Julie Jarrell getting that Chatard defense playing a lot stouter in that third quarter. The last time the Trojans lost was to these Greyhounds. It was a 14-8 final nearly a month ago. Actually, a month ago tomorrow, as this month of May starts to wind down. We'll have state champions on May 31st right here at this very field in classes 1A and 2A. The Greyhounds start the fourth and final quarter with possession going to their left.
Nice draw control there by Avery Gale to set Carmel back into the attacking zone. Bit of a scrum over on the weak side, setting up a drive here on the right, but Chatard sees it all the way into the keeper's stick. Great start by the Trojans.
A good save and picking it up out of the air. Ellis has made a couple of impressive stops, and they're going to need more of that in this fourth quarter to give her offense a chance.
Reminder, Carmel's playing on 3 cards right now, so they do need to be careful. Any additional cards will result in man down for the rest of the game, so quiet aggression is needed here from the Greyhounds.
Dangerous pass thrown out of bounds by Chatard. Here's Sophie Mock, middle of the field, over to Tamalia. Those two have both scored at least 2 goals this evening.
So again, usual suspects up on the top, strong side for the Greyhounds. Sophie Mock working from the right side. Nice team defense there by the Trojans.
Nagel keeping Mock close. Bad pass and back-to-back turnovers.
Yeah, looking for Tamalia there, creeping on the crease. A little too much mustard on that pass. Ball to the Trojans keeper. Also a goal circle violation against Carmel. No one but the goalie can enter into that crease. So Chatard on the drive.
Bad pass this time. Snuck out by Jackie Mabry.
Mabry on the run, showing her speed from also a Carmel soccer player, clearing that ball and then content to return back to the defensive side and let the offense go to work. We love that in our defenders. They deliver us the ball hot and fresh and let us do our work.
Trying to turn defense into offense. That one goes left. Carmel will hold on to it. Bringing things quickly back out. Tamalia working this left side. Now things towards the middle. Little weaving action. That shot on goal, and Tamalia finds the back of the net again.
Tamalia quietly having a little hat trick here in the second half. Very methodical, took a little bit off that. Nice placement there in the upper right-hand corner for Tamalia to put the Greyhounds up by 4. 12-8 with 9 to play in the game.
It was the Sophie Mock first half for Carmel offensively. She has 5 goals. Tamalia has come alive in this second half with 3 of her own. You can see why these two want to keep on playing the game of lacrosse at the next level. 12-8. Gale is in there. And it looks like Bielefeld as well for Chatard.
Senior to senior here on the draw circle. Two solid players, two four-year starters respectively for their programs. It's a great matchup.
Whistle on the exchange. Violation against Chatard. Tamalia gets it back. She wants to score again. Working towards her left side this time. Able to ditch the defender and looking to create some more offense. Another shot, and another one that goes past Ellis. That one looks like it kind of snuck in the corner of the net. Perfectly placed by Tamalia. Back-to-back scores for her. That's going to cause Chatard to call a timeout.
Ellie Tamalia quietly saying, hey, anything you can do, I can do as well, with that nice little topside dodge. Her fourth of the evening. 3 of them coming here in this second quarter, and the horn blows. Timeout for Coach Gerald and the Trojans. Going to talk some things over before this slips away.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
We're back at Noblesville High School for the Class 2A semi-state matchup. Carmel and Chatard will have another 2A game for you tomorrow, as well as the final 1A matchup. We'll see Hamilton Southeastern and Huron Catholic in Class 2A to meet up with the winner of this one. The winner between Fishers and Brownsburg will see St. Joseph in the state championship games played right here on Saturday. Right now, Carmel looking to head back to the state championship. They've had 2 quick goals back-to-back in the opening 3 minutes of this fourth quarter from Ellie Tamalia, one of the many seniors on this Carmel squad. And now that 5-goal advantage looks a lot bigger than what it is. Chatard is going to have to find one of those sparks that they did in the third quarter when they cut it down to 1.
Yeah, Chatard yet to get on the board here in the fourth quarter. Draw bounces their way. Contested in the midfield, but finally picked up by Nev Bielefeld. Yeah, just when we kind of picked on Carmel's attack and said they were trending in the wrong direction, Tamalia puts in 3 quick ones to expand that lead to 5. Chatard back on the attack here as night falls here in Noblesville.
Nagel working with Bielefeld. Nowhere to go. Stout defense by Carmel. We'll have to try the other side with Hyatt dishing it. Dangerous pass. Might be stolen away as Mock hits the deck.
Lots of hustle there on both sides. Ground ball coming back to the Trojans. Looks like we've got a little bit of a backer going here from the Greyhounds.
Good pass, shot, sent away.
Excellent look there by Chatard, but the hustle on the side out goes to the Greyhounds. When you start to see that backer, you're trying to look for the hole in the defense, usually coming from the back or the far side, and Chatard did just that. But the ball is back in the hands of Breckenhare and the Greyhounds.
Hare now to Tamalia. Could she make it 3 in a row? has had a nose for the net. Another thing, too, you can already sense it. Carmel is going to take their time and maybe kickstart things with someone like Sophie Mock. That's a good person to look for. Also, Brecken Hare, who catches the assist from Mock, and she puts it in. Hare hadn't scored since the first and second quarters. That's her third tonight.
I know one thing about Coach Josh Miller. I know that stalling is not in his blood. He loves to go, go, go. So I think we'll still see a little more of that as Carmel starts to pull away here. I think he'll want a few more just to kind of get the whole team back on track, back into the groove, to get some good things if they are indeed headed for play on Saturday.
You can see it in the numbers. They've scored at least 13 goals in every game since their last loss, which was against a team out of Ohio in mid-April. They only put up 6 goals in that game, but ever since then it's been at least a baker's dozen. 14 tonight, about 6.5 left to play. Tamalia.
Some sort of holding call on that draw gives the ball to the Greyhounds in the capable hands of Tamalia here on the strong side.
Splits about 3 defenders on her way to another one. Make it 4 for Ellie Tamalia. Carmel has started to put it on in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, Tamalia, not a shocker, 47 goals, 24 assists in the regular season heading into playoffs, and she is shining tonight.
And the Greyhounds, they may not be done. As you said, it's all gas, no brakes. Looking like their usual selves. The top seed in 2A.
Hats off to Chatard. They are not going down without a fight. And I think we've got a great 6 minutes of lacrosse left here tonight. See if Chatard makes any adjustments on either sliding early or perhaps even face guarding Tamalia or Mock, some of these heavy hitters. But at this point, still a team defense.
And Mock still able to get beyond that defense. She scores again. So half a dozen for Mock now. It's 16-8. The Greyhounds have doubled up Chatard. And at this rate, are going to be heading back to a state championship game.
It's a nice little dodge by Mock there, showing her left-handedness. She'll need that two-handed ability at the next level, playing for the Golden Bears out at Cal Berkeley. So, Carmel's starting to feel that state title appearance. Not a lot of substitutions on either side, so I'll be interested to see if Coach Miller puts in a little rest here, a little shifting, or just continues with 6 minutes to go.
And again, it'll either be Hamilton Southeastern or Guerin Catholic that they'll see in that 2A state championship game on Saturday. Those games being played right here in Noblesville. Not too far from here are the boys' side of things at Hamilton Southeastern. Guerin Catholic defeated the St. Joseph boys in game 1 over there today. Game 2 of that boys' side of things on IndianaSRN being played right now.
HSE Guerin should be a great matchup here tomorrow night. They played to a 2-goal game, with Guerin coming out victorious during the regular season. A high-scoring affair. That'll be tomorrow night here at 6 p.m. at Beaver Materials Field to see who's going to earn the right to what looks to be facing these Greyhounds. Will it be yet another Carmel-Guerin matchup, or will HSE play spoiler for the right for the state title?
That single A boys game underway at HSC. Chatard is up on Evansville Memorial, 10-8. They're heading to the fourth quarter. So a tight one there. Evansville Memorial making a long trip up here, as did Castle Girls, who we saw earlier today, and somebody down on the turf for Chatard.
Looks to be Addie John, perhaps number 22. Didn't see any contact. Hate to see that. Sometimes it can be a misstep for these female athletes. They're in great hands. Coach Julie Gerald is a doctorate of physical therapy, so no one better to care for these Chatard players, both on and off the field. So it looks like she and the trainer here are taking a look as the competitors politely take a knee, and we'll hope for the best here for Addie.
Those non-contact injuries sometimes are the worst, but we'll hope for the best for Addie, as we've got 4:29 left to go in this fourth quarter. We will step aside here from Noblesville.
Not here to just sell you another piece of software. We're here to helping you procure the licensing, manage and monitor those licenses over time.
Collaboration is very key when working with our clients. We are very much a partnering organization. We definitely work as a team to deliver solutions for our customers.
We're here to build relationships with customers, which is unique.
Hi, I'm Grayson, and our parents work in road construction. Every day they head out to make our roads safer and better for you. But did you know work zone deaths have increased 63% since 2010?
Wow, that's a lot. Please slow down and pay attention when you see all those orange signs. When you do, you're helping to keep our parents and everyone who works on the roads safe. Thanks for looking out for us.
This message is brought to you by your friends at Highway Safety Services. Stay safe, stay alert.
Well, it's good to see Addie John back at the Chatard sidelines under her own power, able to make it over there, but walking gingerly. So again, we hope the best for Addie, and it's not too serious of an injury. Play continues. Closing in on the 4-minute mark. Carmel just having to get through the final 4:15, and they'll be back here again Saturday night.
Horizontal stick called on Nev Beafield. Leaves possession with the Greyhounds. Avery Gale taking a look up top.
Plenty of flashes at different times of this game, just like right here. I mean, in the blink of an eye, they make one pass look so crisp, and it leads directly into a quick shot by Hare. That's her fourth. So now 3 scores for Carmel, who have 4 goals or more.
Carmel making me eat my words here from earlier, trending in the opposite direction. Had a 6-goal first quarter and now a 6-goal fourth quarter. So Greyhounds riding the ship here to finish out the game, kind of getting back into the groove that we would normally expect from them. Up 9 with just under 4 minutes left in this semi-state matchup.
Well, it's no surprise that 3 seniors are doing a lot of the damage for Carmel. That 4th goal from Brecken Hare. 5 tonight so far from Ellie Tamalia. Another one who's been constantly on the attack, and Sophie Mock right now leads the way with 6. Has the ball in her stick
Another draw control there by Avery Gale. Setting up the top side here for the Greyhounds. Bit of an overload on the weak side, looking for those 1v1 strong side right. Little cut out of the stack. Breckenhare takes the Twizzler. Flies out of bounds. Ball remains with Carmel.
Good save by Ellis.
Long range shot between the 8 and the 12 there by Hare. Ellis tracked it the whole way. Chatard working through that Carmel sandwich here on the near side. Trying to get the ball across the midline for another chance at a possession. Perhaps a little fatigue setting in as these Trojans have given Carmel all they've got this game. Working hard to the end.
Pass gets away from Roberson. So Carmel has it at the 2-minute mark. Pass up the field to Mabry, who's done some good work defensively, and will dish it off to somebody in the attack formation for Carmel. They may opt to score again. We'll see.
Mabry, the speedy junior, once again delivers the ball and returns to her duty station there on defense as Carmel sets up here on the far side. Chatard pressing out a little bit here with 1:20 left to play. We'll see if Carmel is content to keep the ball here out of the critical scoring area and let this clock run its course.
We'll know about this time tomorrow night who Carmel's going to end up playing, either Hamilton Southeastern or Gearin Catholic, but whoever it's going to be, you know that they'll have their hands full, and in order to be the champion, you got to beat the champion.
Yeah, Carmel Gearin was a 1-goal game during the regular season. HSC Carmel, I believe, was a 2 or 3 goal game regular season. So whoever comes out victorious, I think we're still going to have a great matchup in the 2A title game come this Saturday.
We saw St. Joseph out of the South Bend area able to defeat Castle 14-8 in our first game tonight, and now the Carmel Greyhounds are showing off their muscle, trying to repeat as state champions. They're going to go back to that 2A state championship game and play either Hamilton Southeastern or Gearin Catholic right here Saturday night. The final 10 seconds of this one, Chatard will look for one more shot. See what Bielefeld can do. That one's wide. Another save in the cage by Carmel. A good defensive effort by them. Chatard made things interesting in the third quarter, but the firepower came back in the fourth for Carmel as they win this one 17-8 over Bishop Chatard, and they're heading back to the 2A state championship game.
Again, hats off to Coach Julie Gerald, her staff, and the whole team at Bishop Chatard. Hard-fought game, all 48 minutes. You could tell by the ebbs and flows earlier in the game that they were well prepared for this matchup, but in the end, Carmel just had a little bit too much firepower and came out with the win. So Coach Miller and the Greyhounds will cheer tonight. They'll probably be in the stands here tomorrow night watching and scouting their next opponent, getting those legs freshened up and ready to try to go back-to-back on Saturday.
Let's look at the goal scorers, and then we'll give you tomorrow's schedule as well as Saturday's championship times. For Chatard first, Katie Figura had 4 goals. Maggie Pyatt added 3, and Clara Nagel with 1 for Chatard. 3 players for Carmel have 4 goals or more. Breckenhare with 4. Ellie Tamalia added 5, and Sophie Mock with 6 goals also scoring for the Greyhounds. You have 1 goal apiece by Ellie Espy. And then also tacking on a goal was Avery Gale for the Greyhounds, who are heading back to the state championship game. Like we said, they will await the winner of tomorrow's game between Gearin Catholic and Hamilton Southeastern, which that game, I believe, is our first game tomorrow night, and it is 6 p.m. right here at this very same place, followed by Brownsburg and Fishers in Class 1A. The winner of that one will meet St. Joseph in the 1A state championship game, which will be played at 4 o'clock on Saturday. You'll have the 2A state finals game played before that at 1:30. The rest of your schedule Saturday, 9 a.m., the Rising Stars game, and then a junior-senior showcase at 11:30, followed by that 2A state game at 1:30. 3 o'clock awards for the Indiana Girls Lacrosse Association. And then to wrap things all up here from Noblesville, the 1A state championship game played at 4. All right, we'll wrap things up here. Carmel wins it 17-8. A chance at a repeat on Saturday. For Laura Rogers, I'm Jarrett Lewis saying so long tonight. We'll see you back here again tomorrow on Indiana SRN.